All right, this is a warning, okay? This is super, super important. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to be the one to say it. Super important in 2025 and the years to come. Unfortunately, what I want you guys to do is, unfortunately, again, put aside freelance brand scaling, okay? It's not gonna get you a GT3 RS at 20, blacked out, and an Aventador and stuff like that. Unfortunately, right? It would be fun. I would do it if it bring me that, but it would just unfortunately not bring you towards that, okay? And again, I don't want to make this video to shit on this guy or whatever. He's doing his own thing. He's doing great, whatever, okay? But I want you to also be a bit more open-minded, right? I want you to actually just completely forget freelance brand scaling and do this instead, right? And this is not me saying, oh, forget this business model, try mine, it's the best. I don't care. You can do whatever you want. I'm just trying to open up your eyes to see the possibilities of different kind of business models out there that would be probably a better fit depending on your situation, the industry, and everything like that, okay? Because in 2025, those business models that you see a lot of people preaching are dead ends for most people, and they work for me at a point, okay? And I know that sounds dramatic. Let me just get my pen here. Where's the pen? There it is. It's a fucking eraser. Now, I know that sounds dramatic, okay? But hear me out. If you've been grinding for months, trying to sign clients, build a brand, or get to that first 5K month, but you're still stuck, this video will show you exactly why and what to do instead, okay? And this was on my beginning, right? I didn't just start out, pop off, and start making some 20K months and being able to sign a bunch of clients, stuff like that, right? I also struggled until I found out this method that I'm about to teach you right now, okay? So super important to pay attention. I'm going to basically break down the new online model that no one is talking about. Nobody is talking about this one, okay? It's not just, oh yeah, somebody is. No, actually nobody is. That's quietly producing 10 to 20K months for people who used to struggle as a freelancers or agency owners, just like I was. Maybe you are right now, okay? It's simple, it's relatively fast to set up and learn, okay? And it doesn't require a big following, like hundreds of thousands of followers, even taking followers or whatever, or years of experience, because you don't want to start signing clients 5 years in. You want to start signing clients 5 days in, right? And basically, just to recap a bit this model so I can just tell you directly and not spend 20 minutes and just to tell you after, it's consulting, okay? But why consulting specifically, and what essentially is consulting if you don't know about it? It's basically just having calls with clients, which is something easy you can do. You can have calls with clients and just speak to them. It's giving them the resources you made, okay, resources of your knowledge that you're gonna have to get for yourself, and it's advising them, okay? And I'm gonna get to more in exactly what it looks like, right? But a few years ago, I was stuck, okay? Maybe something like your current situation right now, right? Making 2K a month, doing client work, cold messaging strangers, and not just a bit. I used to send so many messages, so many emails and stuff like that, feeling like every other online business I tried was just another trap. I was just falling into it, just failing, trying it for a few months and just completely forgetting about it, right? And it was just not true. And exactly, this was my last story where I was actually talking about this thing, right? This was actually a DM that I got recently, and I put this in my story. If you follow me, you can go follow me. It's on my bio, and just build this video. Someone actually just DM'd me. That's exactly what I wanted to do. How can we get started from a message I sent them, right? And I never used to get this message. In fact, I talked about in my agencies when I used to do a bunch of cold DMs, as you can see right here, I was sending over hundreds a day. And it feels like I was talking to a wall. Nobody was replying to me. I was getting ignored. Nobody cared, right? And this is the truth reality for any kind of typical agency or whatever that you're gonna try to offer, okay? And again, I started, if you want a bit more about my background, I started with selling physical products like a lot of people did, launched 5 stores, lost all my money on them. Same thing for SMMA. I spent months sending cold emails, hopping on sales calls even. I didn't know what to do and just ended up going nowhere, right? I signed a few clients here and there, but didn't get really advanced, if you will. I did job servicing, affiliate marketing, every single thing you can think of. Everything that you've probably heard online, I've personally tried, and not just tried for a month or whatever, actually spent a lot of time doing, right? And again, every model felt like running on a treadmill, tons of effort, but zero actual freedom, right? So how did I actually go from having this kind of period of my life where I was going to school, I was working a typical warehouse job, I was sending cold DMs after I was getting back from school, getting absolutely nowhere in my business, getting no clients or whatever, to now being able to, as you can see from maybe my Instagram, if you follow me, or even my YouTube, being able to sign a bunch of clients, have the kind of lifestyle that I've always wanted, and live my day-to-day life how I actually want, of having the freedom of having an online business, right? How did I actually make that decision, right? And I realized something crazy. All these people that I was watching, gurus and everything, this is probably something you probably already know, we're actually the ones making the real money. Obviously, you can see them and they're making a bunch of money, the cars and everything, right? And they weren't running a Facebook ads like they're telling you to start an agency, to, let's say, Facebook ads, or doing a short form content service, or doing freelance brand scaling, whatever, which is the same thing as having an ads agency, by the way. They were building offers, and especially for that, info offers. And you probably know this. I don't think I'm teaching you anything new. They're selling courses, selling coaching, which is not a bad thing because it actually helps people for some cases, not everybody. But that's what they're doing, and this is the truth we have to realize. And I think a lot of people are realizing that, which is not a bad thing. Again, I'm not hating on anybody who does it. I do it personally myself. I'll be able to show you what I mean by that. But yeah, that's what they're doing essentially, right? They were packaging what they knew and not what they did, right? And let me show you, so I can give you a bit more context on exactly the pivot I did. Let me show you what it is that I do and how I pivoted to it, okay? I used to offer services back in the day, okay? Which has deliverables, you're paid based on the service given. It's a lot of hours and work, right? But when you switch to consulting, like I said, it's just simply having calls with them, with someone. If you have a client, you can have calls with them. It's not super hard to set up calls for them. That's a part of the service. Giving them the resources, giving them things that already exist so they can go through them themselves, and simply advising them, right? And when you do consulting, what that leads to is having just overall more authority. When you're a consultant, you're proven that just your word of just you speaking to them and helping them is going to help more than someone who can do a service. So intrinsically, they think that you're high value, right? And that's the pivot you want to do, compared to doing a service where you're just like a bit inferior. You're just like another service provider, right? And you can be replaceable, okay? And what it is I actually call it info consulting. Okay, this is the actual model that I do. Instead of chasing clients, you partner up with skilled people who already have experience. Fitness coaches, could be editors, creators, could be maybe money gurus or whatever, and help them turn their skill that they have right now into a profitable offer online. Okay, and why does this work? There's a few different kind of reasons. I'm going to be able to get into it, but this is essentially what I do. Okay, it's maybe similar to growth operating that you've maybe heard, or IPGA. It is kind of similar, but it does kind of have their differences, if you will. Okay, and why does this model win? So why do I get responses like this and results like this? Simply because there's simply just zero competition. Okay, because everyone else is busy chasing influencers with 1 million followers, like growth operating or different kind of business models. In this one, you actually don't need credentials. You just help others structure their knowledge into an offer. A lot of people are looking to do this actively. A lot of people know about the courses and coaching space and are looking to have someone help them, and nobody's outreaching to these people, right? And again, it's scalable. 3 clients can make you 10K a month. It's low stress. You guide people, not fulfill for them completely, right? And it's completely blue ocean. That's why it works, right? Business models in the past that were hyping up and everything, yeah, they used to work when they were blue ocean. They're not blue ocean anymore, right? So this is the old system compared to the new system you're going to have with info consulting. Okay, this old system is all the typical other agencies and stuff like that, and even freelance brand scaling, if you will, because that's the same thing. You just reach out to people who want to do who should run ads, but then you don't know how to run ads either. Okay, your old system has client work, a bunch of client work, which leads to just stress because you have to fulfill for them extremely at a super high level, a burnout, and then just a low pay overall, right? But your new system has consulting, like I said, strategy, leverage, and then ultimately the freedom that you're looking for and the high pay as well, okay? So I'm just gonna get straight into the steps on how exactly to get started with this, because that's probably what you're watching this video for, right? Your first step is going to be to find people with skills, similar to Brez, how he has a skill for ads, let's say. You can look for someone else who has a different kind of skill, if you will, okay? How do you actually find those potential clients to outreach to, right? You wanna go up Instagram. Instagram is gonna be your number one tool because it has millions of accounts, millions of people posting their work, posting their skill. So you wanna go directly on this platform and search for keywords based on a specific niche or specific skill that one may have. For example, photography, right? You can see a bunch of photographers with extremely really good work. I'm just really showing you an example. There's a bunch of niches, over 100 niches. And if you want to help choosing a niche, you can just DM me on Instagram and I can help out, okay? Once you find a good account, how do you actually go about and finding more accounts? You can do a few things. You can check their followers in the following. So people who have, let's say, really good photographers are usually going to follow other really good photographers. So that's how you can find more leads. You can also check their followers. You can also check the suggested accounts for similar accounts. Okay, super important. What do you actually look for in an account? Okay, first thing, a good bio. Okay, someone who actively says what they do, how they do it, or just overall. Okay, a really good bio. An actual real person is important as well. Having someone who has a few thousand followers is also optimal. It doesn't have to, but it really is the best. If they don't, you have to make sure they're extremely, extremely good at what they do, okay? Like I said, something I just said as well, good at what he does. He has to be really, really good at what he does, or else it's going to be impossible for him to sell anything in the first place, right? You want to also make sure he's active, so he's posted something quite recently, and he also has a good profile picture, okay? Because if someone has a few thousand followers, this most likely means they already have kind of a high quality account because people are following them, or just overall a lot of people know them, which means it's going to be easier for them to understand the pitch or be even more interested of them turning their skill into a business, because they're going to be most likely to believe you that's actually possible, because most people don't, right? But that's what you're supposed to do, and I'm going to be able to show you exactly what to outreach to them, right? Then what you want to do is build their offer, okay? You'll basically able to help them define what they sell, who it's for, and the promise behind it. This is super, super important, okay? And again, you're helping with them with this because they don't even know how to do it themselves, right? Example, I help beginners, editors land 3K a month clients without freelancing sites. That's the offer, let's say. And you can kind of see my offer as well on my Instagram, and I used to have another account as well that promises a specific type of offer that I use, okay? You also want to create simple systems. If you want another video on how I set up systems for all my clients, you can also just DM me and comment under this video, and I got you in the next one, because it can take me a lot of time to be able to make this kind of video, and I just want to make sure there's actual demand for it, okay? Then each client, what's nice with this is that each client can pay you anywhere from 3 to 5K for you help building this, right? And again, you only need 2 to 3 per month to be able to hit 10K a month consistently, which is not a lot, okay? Really, really not a lot, especially considering that there's millions of accounts out there, right? But again, here's why most people burn out with online business, right? A lot of people, and this was me as well, I'm talking from experience, they're trying to do things that they aren't good at, or they're good at something, but they don't have a clear offer. Info consulting, and the model I'm showing you currently, flips that completely. You already build on top of someone else's skill, someone who's already validated their niche, right? You simply have to learn how to help them turn their skill into online offer. That's exactly what you have to do. You just have to learn that, and once you're that, you can get paid a lot of money, and people are actively looking for you, for people like you to be able to help make money with their skill, okay? It's super, super in demand right now, okay? Because everybody's doing it, everybody's making a bunch of money, right? So again, what you do is helping experts and knowledgeable people build their own info business, and then you get paid high amounts, right? I got paid 5.5K in a day for this, okay? To show you. And that's exactly how you craft your own consulting offer. This is the exact framework I use, and it works in every single niche, depending on what exactly you want to help people. If you want to help photographers, you want to help business gurus, whatever it is, okay? I help target person achieve dream result by unique method without big pay, okay? Once you have that sentence, once you have that offer, it becomes so much more easier for anything, for signing clients, for closing clients, for whatever, getting on calls with clients, DMing people when they see your account, whatever it is. You have to have that nailed down specifically. And again, like I just said, the clearer your promise is, the faster you'll close. This one sentence can become your landing page, it can become your ad if you do so, your DM script, whatever it is, right? And that's exactly how it allows me to get payments like this: 2,800 a day, 4K, 4K, 3K, 4K, 1,500, okay? And I even have more. Without big audiences or paid ads, right? And some of my personal clients, here are some, sorry, I'm a personal clients doing this method as well that have actually helped. 23K in sales in 20 days. He was a small creator, was right next to me. I helped someone also go from 1K to 10K in the fashion niche. They were posting videos and photos about their outfit, so they were knowledgeable in how to dress correctly, etc. Okay. If you want to see how you can build your first 10K a month consulting business, I can actually send you a full training that I've actually done. Just DM me on Instagram. I'll be able to send that over if you'd like. Okay. And this is the 10K a month flywheel, right? This is exactly what you can implement, because if you have trouble visualizing how this model works and exactly what are you going to help people out with, this is for you. Okay. Like I said, first thing, you want to find skilled people. You can find them on Instagram, like I said, or TikTok or YouTube. People who are actively kind of posting content and are very, very good at something specific. It doesn't matter really what it is, as long as it could be sold as an info offer, obviously, right? And you help them build the actual offer for them, so the content, the sales, the systems, and you consult them in the process. And then what you do to be able to turn their people that are following them or whatever into actual clients for them to get paid for you to actually be a good info consultant is actually implement sales systems. So whether it's short form, long form, or ads, they all go to a VSL, some kind of IGDM that you're going to help them implement, which is pretty simple at a base level, right? If they don't know how to do this, but you know how to do this, you implement them, you'll get paid a lot of money for this, okay? Because it can make them a lot of money, right? then it goes to a book call, and then it goes to a sale. If you can actually show them the whole process, that's enough for them, okay? Because they don't know this and they think you're some super great expert, which you are, but for them it's crazy, okay? And look, the truth is most of us didn't actually fail because we weren't working hard. It's because, again, we failed because we were building the wrong things. And I was victim of this, if you will, okay? If this video helped you rethink your direction on what you want to do exactly, I want you to subscribe, okay? Because I'm going to break down this model step by step in the next future videos, which I already did in the past. And I'll show you how to turn it into something that actually lasts. Not a business model that's going to be good for 2-3 months, but something that's going to be good for the years to come, right? And if you get into this industry right now, you're going to be heavily, heavily paid in the next few years because we all know what's going there, okay? And again, if you're interested in getting my one-to-one help to start as an info consultant, you're interested in this model, you're a bit heard about it, maybe you've watched my past videos, my Instagram videos, whatever, sign your first client in the next 30 days and get to 10K a month, like I've been able to do, and I've been able to do, over 20K months, and I had a 10K a week recently, stuff like that. Simply just DM me start on Instagram, that's in the bio, and I'll basically just see if you're a good fit to be able to work with me. And the reason I'm just helping a few guys out, like I just said right here, and as you can see on my Instagram, I don't have hundreds of people joining me, is because if I have too much people joining me and I'm teaching them this model, it's going to get saturated for me, okay? So that's why I don't want to. But I know the struggles of starting and having no direction. So that's, I kind of see myself and other guys that I'm helping. So that's exactly why I'm doing it in the first place. So if you're interested, my Instagram is going to be simply below this video. So you can just DM me or just DM me with any questions and I'll be able to help you out.